As established by the news agency Niezależna, one of the perpetrators of the sabotage on the Polish railway line from Warsaw to Ukraine is Yevhen Ivanov, a Ukrainian citizen and collaborator of the Russian military intelligence service GRU since at least 2024. In 2024, the Ukrainian media reported on his failed attempt to blow up a Ukrainian drone factory in Lviv. In the same year, he was recruited by Russian military intelligence officer Yuri Sitsov. On the orders of Yuri Sitsov, an officer of the GRU commanding a sabotage network in Ukraine, Ivanov recruited a man called Borysenko, a former employee of a drone factory in Lviv, with the task of blowing up a strategic facility. The operation failed. The Ukrainian security service detected the explosives and, through Borysenko, who was supposed to plant them, tracked down Ivanov. Unfortunately, Ivanov had already left Ukraine by then. He was charged with treason and sabotage for transferring explosives. The above information is publicly available on the internet. The question is, why didn't the Polish services make use of it? This man entered Poland by crossing the border. He also left Poland across the border after committing this act without anyone bothering him. This is an immense failure of the entire Polish counterintelligence and security system. The government's information policy has a blatant coordination problem and communication delays. The Polish services acted post factum, but counterintelligence failed to identify anything in time, and the perpetrators, after carrying out the act of sabotage on the tracks, were able to leave Poland freely through the border crossing with Belarus in Terespol. Since 2023, the Polish secret services have been aware of the Russian modus operandi when it comes to monitoring railway routes. Mobile phones and cameras were already being used there, as well as various types of devices designed to monitor moving wagons, such as GPS sensors. There were also discussions among the members of this criminal group, controlled by Russian intelligence, about carrying out a more serious attack on one of the railway lines. Sometime before current Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk and his coalition government took power, a network of several saboteurs working in Poland on behalf of the Kremlin was broken up. Why are these strategic railway lines not protected against the threat of sabotage? All the way back in 2023, the Internal Security Agency uncovered a sabotage network that intended to cause a tragedy in the form of derailing trains running on lines in the eastern part of our country. Since the coalition led by Donald Tusk took power, a lot has changed. The change was evident with the handling of the case of the alleged Spanish journalist known as Pablo González, who is in fact Colonel Pavel Rubtsov of the Russian GRU. He was extradited to Moscow. Rubtsov, who was extradited to Russia by Poland, was given very important and valuable information before his extradition. He was given the files of his own case to review, which allowed him to obtain additional, invaluable information about the operational work of Polish services. According to experts, the knowledge, including secret information from the investigation that Rubtsov took with him when he left Poland, could have influenced the tactics of the Russian services. The GRU changed its methods of operation, shifting largely to recruiting proxy agents through the internet, using various online tools and building bots that were directed at specific communities in order to recruit agents. And the threat from Putin's Russia is not diminishing. That is why it is high time for the current Polish authorities to finally wake up. We should be vigilant, observe reality, and hope that the politicians responsible for the security system will not make such mistakes. And if they do, we should ensure that such politicians are removed from office. So far, the Tusk government's main success has been to establish the identity of the perpetrators of sabotage on the railway line, long after the saboteurs had already escaped into Belarus.